Momo when I from them breaking. You call breaking na topic na you're discussing. Ye do home come. I'm a metina harmon moraho papa because top today industry no way. Today we are talking music marketing, and in the studio with me oye Zola Nie. Zola, I'll take this opportunity to congratulate you. I haven't officially congratulated you. Sisia Zola na oye the new creative head for the first creative record label in Africa. Congratulations on this one. That is big. Yeah, very big. That is big.
Very big.
Congratulations.
Very big. Thank you.
But in there, we would have time and we'll talk about the creative. You honor would be another day, and hopefully we would have you in the studio again. Sure. But in there, we are talking music marketing. Zola, do we know what we are doing?
For me, I would say no. Out of 100, no. Let's say only 1% of the 100 knows what they are doing. And then you can see it from their works and their movement and the achievement they've made so far.
They've made so far.
Yes. Because music marketing is a broader topic. Trust me. It's a whole...
I'm a mankasa. Moraho, like I said. Moraho, because when I was doing the research on this topic, I was trying to think it through. Which artists are using all these elements and all that? And I think when it comes to selling merchandise, which is one avenue that generates a lot of money. I think Shatawali. Is it Rain?
The Rain thing.
Yes.
Being meshed to has been there.
Yes.
Since. See.
What a... Zola, there is so much we are not doing. Zola, it seems we've limited, most artists have limited music marketing to, or the Nenyomato platforms, one to be, even why you find it difficult getting them on these platforms. We book a radio interview kakra, we book a TV de kakra, or the videos to be or that to online. Nine in one market in your maybe. Is that where it ends?
No.
Is that even where it starts?
First, that's not where it has to start. Okay. Because before you even think of releasing a song in marketing, because marketing basically in music is how to promote your song, how to get the wider numbers, how to get the reach, how to get people listening to you, how to get people following your craft. In business sense, you need to, first and foremost, before you even think of, let's take it, you are done recording the song. You're done recording the song. Before you even think of a release date, there has to be a plan. Okay. A plan in releasing. That plan will have to come with the release date and the day. So in this, you need to do a proper research and know which are the days that when I release song, Charlie, it will go. You just have to do a proper research. Mostly what works for most of the artists making it big is releasing a song on Friday works proper.
Okay.
Releasing a song on Fridays.
Okay.
It works proper. Then you go back to getting an EPK, a press release, preparing a press release. For major news portals, reaching out to people. This has to go with a PR, right? See, I jumped a little bit. Before we get to the marketing bit, the first question should be, do our creatives, our artists know what they are doing? Are they doing music for music's sake? Are they doing music because of money? Are they doing music because of the fame that it comes with? Do they really know what they want? In whatever they are doing. Do they understand whatever they are doing? These are some of the questions we need to tackle before we even get into music marketing. Because if you should really know what you want, automatically you have to read wide and research about whatever you are doing. How do I put my songs out? Okay, now we have so many means of putting songs out. With the streaming platforms, the YouTubes, and then the rest, radio, TV, influencers and stuff. See, Now that you have all these plans, the plan needs to be a 3-month plan.
Okay.
Professionally, music takes 3 months before it sinks proper.
Deep into people's minds.
People. Automatically, you might get a hit song out of nowhere. But getting a hit song alone doesn't mean you've done enough for your song, because hit song can last for just a day. It can last for just a day. People might get to groove with it. But then if you don't push it, that's it.
Awesome.
And then in pushing it, promoting it, that's where the marketing bit comes in.
Okay.
You will need someone in your team to give you this plan, get a PR person on board, get a music marketer who gets you the tricks you need to use. Now that you've distributed or submitted your song to the stores, mind you, before you drop your song, you release your song on these digital platforms. Most artists don't even know. Seriously, I've encountered those things and still even solving problems like that. Your song should be submitted to the stores at least 2 weeks or months before the release date.
Okay.
Because in that, you get a pre-save link, and then the stores themselves, behind the scenes, will try and hint people who are subscribed to the channel, like this Spotify subscribers, the Boomplay staff, hint people that there's a new song dropping this date. They have notifications and then emails that they send to people who have subscribed to their platforms. It makes pitching easy. It makes your song getting playlisted easy. But then, before you can get major playlisting and then get huge numbers and stuff on these platforms, you need an EPK.
Okay.
An EPK, an electronic press kit. Away from your press release, sending your songs to blogs, getting DJs, doing a pre-release to DJs, getting some few people, knowledgeable people to listen to your song, you need all these things. You need an email newsletters, whereby you have dozens of emails of industry people, from DJs, from influencers, from what.
All day.
That you need to forward your stuff to. That's it. See, I'm glad you did your research. You saw the merchandising points, you saw the influencing point, the social media point, the content creating point.
I'm sad.
Yo,
because we're not doing anything.
See, this actually the work, not releasing the song.
Yeah, Erica saying when the moment you mentioned the 3 months plan, we have a lot of young acts. Yeah. This question maybe will show you the maybe artist say there. If you bring a song now, people are getting into it gradually. It is beginning to sink. It is beginning to fall in the right places. Then it's registering in your mind. Just before it will register well, at least it's Medenium for forever.
Yes.
And they think this is the right strategy to go by, because if they don't do back to back, people will forget about them.
It's about getting a 3 month. The 3 months plan, you need to involve content creation. One, now it's made easier but not easier. Easier because you have a lot of content creators. You have a lot of influencers that can create content with your song that you need to post each and every day. Keep your social media pages active, because people are following you because of your music. See, you go to a musician's page on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then you see lesser posts about their music, their craft. You can even do a picture grade of you combining 5 pictures together. Put your song beneath it. It's content.
It's content.
It can also be you being in the street with your boys, having a conversation, but then the original conversation that you guys had can be muted, and then put your song, sing your song in it, post it. It's content. Mind you, the social media platforms too, songs are being pitched there. This is what people don't know. You can see that when you go to Instagram, automatically the songs are active there already. If you go to Instagram, every song that has been distributed on this digital platform is there on Instagram. Search it and then you see it. That means your song is being promoted there. So the little content you post, it goes into the algorithm. You understand? Charlie, you have to. It's a whole lot of things that you have to do. See, mechanizing. You get a title or the cover art of your song. What do you do? I said, okay, what do I do with this? Maybe I have little fans. Stickers of that cover art can be printed. You can even move to these structural stations, taxi stations. Give them these stickers. Paste it on their cars. It's promotion.
Do we have artists? Do Ghanaian artists have websites?
I think the last time I heard of an artist having a website was Stoneboy. Stoneboy. But then that website, as I talk to you now, it's not active.
The reason why I asked, I'm read about websites in my show. Also have a website. If you're going to market yourself online, having a website is non-negotiable. It's the one-stop shop for everything about your act. If you want to check out your tour dates, book you for a show, read your backstory, or buy your merch, your website is going to be my first port of call. There is another big reason you should create your website. It's a space you have control, you have total control over. Sure, you want to build a following on social media too, but third parties own those platforms. Those third parties can and do make frequent algorithm changes that might dramatically reduce your reach overnight.
Yes.
Remember, there's one caller. I have one guest online now. Obo joining him. Says here we are na makodo makan ma American no. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you perfectly.
Mupacho mawanza do kakra mam. I can very faintly. You are very faint.
Okay, can you hear me properly now?
Sisi ade. Mato wonka. Mupacho mo akwaba.
Medatu. But I think we will be speaking more of English, so.
Mupacho say ye baka brofo no more ehwa.
Exactly.
Mupacho mate ka brofo no fama. Johnny la ye mo akwama bio ba oye ye chat show. Zola asro no nyim dem joining hen who asro.
Bad guy.
We are talking music marketing.
Yeah, sure.
With your knowledge in music marketing, would you say we are doing enough?
Yes, we started very well as a country because many years ago, music marketing has always been left to the distributors after, recording the songs, the composition and everything.
Okay.
But with the coming of, the whole digital space where people can upload their music on YouTube, Spotify, Boomplay, Audiomack, and all these platforms, when you reach the requirement where you monetize your account, yes, you can make money. And many years ago, Ghanaians were downloading their songs free online. They will buy data, go online, download the MP3 file to come to their phone. But over time, I think together with my other colleagues who are in the blogging space, music promotion space, we have been able to change the whole concept from free downloads to streaming the music so that the people who contributed to the composition of the music can make money. So I think we stand at a good place now. Now, it's easy for a Ghanaian artist to make 1 million streams even within a week on YouTube or even a day because we've seen what Kwame Eugene and Co has done. We've seen Sarkodie clocking millions and everything. So, yes, we are doing well. We just have to learn more because the game keeps changing every single day.
But then talking about putting the songs on all these digital platforms, is that where it ends when you are marketing your music?
No, that is just the first point of it because at the end of the day, I keep saying that distributing your music is the first point because before I come on your show, I should make sure that my song is available for everybody. When I come on your show, I'm coming to talk about the song, I'm coming to talk about my brand. So it's the first point. Then traditional media can never be ruled out. In recent times, people have been raising concern as to whether radio, TV is still helping promoting artists. Yes, it's working because at the end of the day, it's not everybody that is on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitter. We still have millions of people who sit, 24/7 listening to radio, watching television. So it still matters. Away from that as well, you also have to make sure that you work with a team. The music business keeps changing every single day. We've got to a point where your music can be heard in any part of the world. Your music can be played in any part of the world. Recently, we saw Calm Down by Rema played at one of the biggest concerts in the world. That is how, fast music is growing. So I also suggest that a lot of artists, or every artist, should now go in for lawyers who can help them, do something we call publishing deals. Because while people are streaming your music on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and all these platforms, people can also use your music in movies. People can use your music for adverts and all that. It is happening day in, day out. And these days, we have a lot of people who are creating content for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and all that. They use music. So you're supposed to sign a publishing deal where your management or your legal team can collect royalty for you anywhere your song is being performed in the world.
Okay.
That is the place where I feel that a lot of Ghanaians are lacking the industry. That is our biggest challenge. We don't have a solid system for publishing. So you notice that they'll play a Nigerian song or an American song at a venue somewhere where the person will make $1, but they play a Ghanaian song, it doesn't make $1 because that Ghanaian song is not being signed by a publishing deal.
Okay.
Now, it looks like it's only the big shots, like the Stone Boys, the Sack, or the SNCO. They are signing publishing deal with the Sony, the VP Records, and all these ones. But what happens to the up-and-coming artist who is also good? He's not in Accra, but he's somewhere, elsewhere in the country, doing a lot of good songs, getting a lot of streams on Facebook, Twitter, and all these ones, but doesn't have a publishing deal. So I think it's high time. It shouldn't be an individual bringing a publishing deal. I think government should also be involved in this conversation so that there can be like a whole institution dedicated to publishing, that when people use our music, it will go far. Vice President of America, Kamala Harris, just left Ghana. Now, when she came to Ghana, she created a playlist on Spotify. Now, it shows that elsewhere in the world, people are also paying attention to our music. But what happens to the song when it is being played elsewhere in America and the artist doesn't sign a publishing deal? It means that they'll play the song, but the artist will not make any money because no company will follow up and say, okay, this is our song. This song belongs to an artist. It is an artist's intellectual property, so we should take royalties. So we have started well. We are doing very well, but we should not end here. So that we can get more
end here,
from
definitely.
the music business.
But then, Johnny La, Erica San, you made a statement. You said something like, say if an artist, before you come on my show, you should have your songs out there already. Everything will be out there. But then there's a case whereby most of the young acts most of them don't have any professional team that they are working with. One person position. They come for interviews. So are they doing it the wrong way? They shouldn't grant interviews before the song comes out.
Yeah, as we speak right now, a lot of the up-and-coming artists will get it wrong because they have to learn on the job. That's why it's good to listen to, conversations like this, because this is the lifeline of your career as an artist, even as an industry. Because here's the thing. As an artist, if you don't have a management team, you can have a management team and not have somebody who doesn't know about it. So I keep saying all the time that artists should learn more. So far as you've taken it upon yourself that you are a musician, you create music, you have to understand that whatever you are creating as music is your intellectual property and it's supposed to feed you. So you should learn more. Even you as an entertainment host or a journalist, you do a lot of research. You can have your degree, your master's and everything. But day in, day out, you read books, you watch documentaries, you upgrade your knowledge. The same way musicians should also learn. Don't wait to say that you want to work with Johnny La before, you want to work with Richie before. You should learn every day. How do you do it? Because the system is so flexible in such a way that you don't have to be signed by a record label before you sign a publishing deal. So far as you're an artist, you can check online. There are a lot of companies online. Just go on Google, search how do I sign a publishing deal? How do I distribute your music? I'm sure one of the 2 articles that Johnila has written will pop up on Google that will guide you. That is where we need to tight ourselves right now, because even social media is relying on music right now. TikTok is a platform for creation, but music is what is blowing TikTok in Africa, because in Africa here, that's where we get all the hit songs in recent times. But how do artists make money from the songs that people are using? We are using songs for challenges and every day. But at the end of the day, that is performance rights, because they are using your song for something. How much are you making? How much is TikTok supposed to pay you? How does the money come to you? So these are some of the things that I feel every single artist, whether you are signed or you are not signed, even if you have a publishing company that handles your publishing, I think it will make more sense for you to read extensively, because the direction the music business is going right now, if you are a novice, you make a lot of money and you wouldn't know. Because the system, I keep saying this thing, the system is forcing a lot of artists to become one-hit makers. Now, you can still be one-hit maker, but the way you manage your content online, the way you manage your music online, will determine if your music will last forever or not. Because as we speak right now, see, Bob Marley is nowhere to be found, but recently had a feature with Sarkodie. How did it end up? Because there's a proper digital music management team that is researching every single day to see who is popular in which country, which popular on which continent. How do we approach that deal? At the end of the day, Sarkodie is also benefiting. The Bob Marley Foundation is also benefiting. We have seen a lot of artists, put plans in place so that their music will last forever. Michael Jackson has a song called We Are the World. And it looks like every 10 years they do another version with different group of artists. Those things, they don't just happen. It's a strategic plan to make sure that the song stays forever. So as an artist, whether signed or you are not signed, how long your music will stay, with the people depend on how the effort that you put in, the strategies you put in, the people you have conversation with. Connection is key. You need to, have conversation with people who understand the business and how to do it. So it's a long journey that we have to embark on right now as an industry.
It's a long journey that we have to embark on. Medasi P. They were Adjana Ache Eza Kahu Amam. I hope that I would have you in the studio soon. I would want to have you seated here.
By that time, my tree will be very perfect.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Johnila. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that digitally, Johnila has touched on whatever you need to do as an artist digitally. Just like he said, that digital space is one bit of the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Good because publishers also go the extra mile to push your song, to market your song proper. Just like what the Empires and Co are doing for an artist like Blacko and then the other artists we have. But then, as an artist without all these things, getting your songs being published and stuff, see, every artist I work with, the first question I ask the artist is what's their plan, what's their target audience, and blah, blah, blah. If the artist is not signed to any publisher, the first thing I do for an artist is to get an IPI number, because for you to get a publishing deal, you need an IPI number, which works perfectly for every artist to even get. If you are not even working with any label, with your IPI number, publishing, getting your songs or your product identified digitally by other people, it helps very, very well. Then again, away from the digital space, what do? We were talking about the content creation, right? Content creation is one thing. Emailing is one thing.
The website.
The website thing is one thing. Posters, stickers is one thing. You see, how many of our artists, yes, we are growing as an industry. Yes, we need the government to get involved. That government, I don't support it. You know why? The only thing government needs to do for our creatives or our musicians is to set rules and regulations to govern our system. That's all.
Awesome.
That's what the Nigerians are benefiting from. Nigerians at a point, when you mention a Nigerian name, it's like Fraud Sakawa, 419, right? At a point, they need to sit down with their government, all the creative heads need to come on board. They came
over channel attention.
Yes. So you could see they started with movie. At the point Nigerian movie took over.
Because in American they say he knows about Nigerian movie but doesn't know Ghana has a vibrant movie.
Yes, because it's a deliberate thing. See, Nigerian government or creative space, Parliament has laws that is helping their creatives. So a minister of culture or a minister of what will go outside, have certain conversation behind closed doors with certain labels. We have the Sonny and Co in Nigeria. Head of YouTube Africa is in Nigeria.
He's in Nigeria.
Head of Audio Mark Africa is in Nigeria. Boom Play, they are in Nigeria. Yo, what are you talking about?
So does it mean that Ihanim Penyumfono are not having the right conversations with the right people?
No, you see, we do. But you see, we need certain regulations that will help us. Nigeria, as we talk now, have regulations. That is, the 2010 the Nigerians are doing. It is backed by law. Nigerians, I think, last year or early this year.
Mucha moho kakra say yeba nkomo nenke ni yede boss of the CCR station. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the short break. Now we are going back to conversation and you're having. If you just joined us, CCI in the studio, no, I have Zola Nie. Ono na otna hadia we are discussing oye music marketing. Before yeko break no so no we had Johnila joining us ono so omehen Nadjenche. We would have another guest joining us online. But then ye wa ha monomnedi nkomono yerutuedo. Zola.
Yeah, so you see the long and short of all this. We might go round, but just like I was using the Nigerians as an example. They had a plan. They submitted it to their people. We keep calling government. The only thing government can do is to give us regulations, to do whatever that we are doing, to back whatever we are doing. Nigerians, whatever they are doing is backed by law. In recent times, they just released an article.
Mama Hodi, my next guest no owo line odo. Yao. Hello, Yao.
What's your name?
I'm glad to have you again today. I'm so glad to have you again today. We have Yao Buedu Ayobuafo. Line do ono sort of betre na adwen kakraza mehen on music marketing. Yaw our time ebe yi mamamfa merchandising no monfon wo ho monom. I was doing my research na muhu the sana merchandising is also part of marketing an artist's music. And see, I started thinking through Ghana Harmonum artists that have taken advantage of that. Another was one who would share merchandising. And Obi today, Shatawale came to mind. I think Sako so at a point where you sue Nankasenizin as Sak or they share some collections CBRC, but then Yahu baby okwikisi. So if it is still in existence, no minim no maybe I know what target some phobia oton but then it's not out there like that. Back we are doing enough in terms of artists using merchandising to also market their music and also by way of generating more income for themselves.
So for Saturday then I see. Hopefully, the bumpire man was back. But in terms of the general say of merchandising and artists, we believe it's most Ghanaian artists, especially more mobile app, I bet here, CSA, or mobile promote your mobile works with also selling their own merch, which can be a chair and a bag and a attire. So over here in recent times, you will artists do my example be a kukusi or a merch. You be so at a point in time a merchandise. And I think one of the most successful stories with artists and merch, about Shatawali now kind of the rain there no. Yeah, become no cry. Ne rain album merch ne logo no the ton so SLA even more than album nankasa. To the extent say even to this day you won't ne shock ne cry you some specific relevance.
Yeah.
Into Nakashatwali about whom modern control merchandise about man commit market say merch the money sikapa because if you are better than fashion statement. Music goes with fashion.
I think it was hoodies, socks, phone cases, handkerchiefs,
but unfortunately, not anyone in the produce.
Okay.
It is kind of a third party, but now can produce in Kajatwali. But by this anchor merchandise, very, very popular in this market.
But then, still on the merchandise and no, say to them, my can you be a here, you recognize the fact that it was something very huge, it was something very big. Why do you think that record labels have not tapped into this to produce these merchandise for one artist? And so now untum nombuana, one pushing the brand up there, and then two generating more fans for the artist and then for the label as well.
Well, the thing with merch here is at a point to mean a certain hardcore fan base. We need to Omobeto Ontario.
Okay.
To make an example, be Davido be drop album weekly, but next week or launching a match.
Yeah.
What you say?
With one of the international designing brands.
Basically, risk it so yeah match or yeah any album. So I think locally, some people are yet to understand, especially the labels. They are yet to understand the base behind merchandise, Because me sure say we who keep the merch and I will come use the merch. And I even in the shade here. But I think a idea gradually best start to say mobile buy into because this year Okasa will make sika from a nyomnepa but so tonton nyoma around the music like merch now. It generates a lot of income. So we have more feelings in the coming months to years. We will see more A-list artists and record labels in Ghana joining the match.
Moving away from mesh, now let's look at artists having websites. Minimum the number of Ghanaian artists are websites. Zola confirme oye Stoneboy neze asisi anomede on Shadanye amismo confirme oye Joe Metal neze. I don't know other artists who have websites, but then if having a website can help you sell your merchandise, can help you sell wood tickets for wood events and many other things that has to do with brands. Why are we also not exploring that option here in music space no more?
I think can promise also a website.
Okay.
I think it's a very alien to you. And yet, idea as cementing in your culture. I think I feel uncle for gradually every day because having a website is very crucial for an artist.
Yeah.
Apart from the fact that it's not on merchandise that will and our tickets, it's Nima fans no be a bit more authentic news about her and I will buy you and I will told it. So websites are very important, but unfortunately, we've still not understood that assignment. But then kakaka to say being our boy first no money be but your moon now will be especially Stoneboy then they are very very active.
Yeah, active.
And
okay.
Hopefully you bring more artists on their website and you me be information easily about them. It was a very crucial thing.
Very crucial. Moving away a little from the artist to the consumer. If you are outside Ghana, what can emailing is like a normal medium of having conversations with people. But in our part of the world, say something about emailing, then it has to be corporate, corporate space, I send a memo, ne day. And we are not really the type of people who really explore websites. So even if the artist gets to a point where they start embracing website, they all have their website that we can consume content that is there, be able to buy tickets for their events, book them for shows and all that. Is the consumer ready to also explore that thing together with the artist?
Well, with the consumer, you don't need to wait for the consumer to be ready. Sometimes na consumer now force the money ready. Because change is very hard. You find say you use Ghana card now as an example. You see here Ghana card for you. Ideally, you start as a young Nipanona baby and Bessie. But when you force you use as registration for your phones near bank account, that is basically how we need to treat the consumer. Consumer has so better. In case of create a conducive environment, because if every artist decided to turn a ticket online, consumer need any avenue to a ticket. At the end of the day, a best shift to tickets online.
Okay.
And I said, "Bakoye, not 10 years, 20 years, NCBA,
Ubia.
We need to create. We should not perceive say sometimes next year force your mom was not shown on the front that they say email say okay, the brethren say for former work. But in case it be exclusive, we be your emailer. Promise, fan back to start a better thing. But the more for I understand the more based in action. But say Facebook start here, make sure say you move be and signing up because me what it is about. But the more signing up, actually your pecs ne woman. Say na your Facebook, your Twitter. In this next year, and yes, they be a record them so moon. The baby on the consumer, but sometimes you need to force the consumer.
Sometimes you need to force the consumer. Medase paya medase. This conversation may assure that you may adoma next week and next week definitely I would have you seated in the studio with me. Na yetum na ya tria the other points that's order that I think we've touched on only 2 or 3 I hope that next week that was Yao ono sona or joining here na them discussion. Zola, now you were talking about Nigeria.
Yeah. So like I'm saying, few months ago, a law was passed about their creatives. No Nigerian creative or musician should even fly a video director from outside to come and work. No Nigerian to fly a video vixen. These are some of the things that will help their creative and then will help them market themselves proper. Because if a video, a Wizkid, don't have the right to fly a Ghanaian video vixen, a Ghanaian video director to Nigeria to shoot, that means automatically
you use more Nigeria.
And then promotion.
And it will compel more Nigerian to even learn more and do better. Exactly. That's beautiful.
You understand?
We need
them, but they can do these things for us. But they can't force us to do the other things, such as the publicity, the PR thing, the social media marketing, the merchandising.
Only we need people in.
Yes, you need. It's broad. We have every quarter to tackle everything in marketing. Just like Jonila brought the publishing and then distribution, you need a distributor to do that, which is marketing. The government will only have to give you regulations that will help control whatever you have.
Whatever you're putting there.
We have publishing company in Ghana here, which is the Gamro thing, but it's not functioning well because they need a login system. They need the government to come in. That's where we need the government to help us make the ground soft for other people. We have other industries whereby private companies, you have rights. You don't even have a say in not promoting anything in the country. Let's say a company, in a private company in Ghana, the government has rules and regulations that you need to use Ghanaian creatives in all your adverts with a lesser percentage or with a higher percentage for the artist or blah blah. Promote your works here. Anywhere your billboard is, there has to be a creative. You have to do this, You have to contribute a quota to the creative sector.
The creative sector
helps to bring so many people into our system to help. See, I like the angles Yao and then Jonela brought in that kakran kraibedu. But kakran kraibedu how are we getting there? We live in a country whereby if someone or a company should organize a music marketing seminar, Yanko. They will go.
Yanko.
We live in a country whereby our artists are
creators. Erica for wrap up, Mama time. So part 2 of this conversation will come because there's a lot we haven't touched on. There's a lot.
We live in a country whereby our artists feel so self-entitled and feels like it's their talent giving them whatever they are getting.
They are getting.
But you see, talent alone is 10% too.
There's a lot that goes into
the work is 90%, which is the marketing thing. So if an artist doesn't know that social media is essential, PR and publicity is essential, merchandising is essential, distribution is essential, traditional media, content creation is essential. But all the artist knows is, I've dropped, so let me go for interviews. Yo, interview, what are you going? See, most of these upcoming artists come to me with 1 song, 2 songs, and I keep telling, they want interview. I keep telling them, why are you going for interview? Are you newsworthy enough? Where is your press kit? Do you even have a press? Yo, no, me, I keep telling them.
Haven't we had people on this show who didn't even have songs of their own? And they will push and push and push. I'm an artist, I'm an artist, I'm an artist. Oh, I have a project. I have a project. They will send you songs and all that. You will listen, okay, this one is good, let me give. And then you ask, and the song is nowhere.
Let me give you an example.
Or send do book interviews.
Let me give you an example. We have one artist. Just last week, I had to do interviews for the artist. For me, I'll ask. I'm not like anybody that will be like, okay, I'll book them. I'll ask for your press kit, your song, and blah, blah, blah. So I had to book because I felt, oh, Charlie, he has a hit song. He's gotten his song. He's there. People know him. So I placed him on one of the press entertainment shows on radio. And then the artist went. Not knowing, even I asked him to even took an email from the DJs and presenters, told him to send his songs and whatever he wants them to discuss about him there. Do you know that he sent a song with a GhanaMotion.com embedded in the song? Yo.
Why a cow? So like you see her as in why a cow?
But
may your very wish now more. And then we talked music marketing. Me is ADP, Papa. I told you the show we are not just entertaining you, we are educating you as well.